there, it's Diane the Nursing Geek. This is going to be a really quick, last-minute Preptober November Plan With Me combo video. I got a little frustrated trying to do the desktop view, so this is going to be a little lower quality video than I would like, but hopefully anyone who's looking for some ideas for a little different word count tracking process, mainly, may find it interesting. So let's get to it. For the month of November in general, I used Planning with K's fall themed sticker collection, because we are now definitely well and truly into autumn. This was my cover page back in October, real simple. It was also one of Kay's sets, and I went for the tropical fish and the Dory expression of just keep swimming. So for November, this is what we ended up with. I literally looked for just November inspirational quote and came up with this. Some of the days of November carry the whole memory of summer as a fire opal carries the color of moonrise, by Gladys Tabor. Don't know who that is, but I found that a really fascinating quote, so that's what I went with. Went possibly a little overboard with all the leaves, but you know, whatever. This was October's habit tracker and mood tracker. As you can see, the habit tracker is a little more sparsely filled in than I would like, particularly under the writing column. But that should be quite different in November, because there better be something pretty much every day. So here's what that came out like. Oh yes, and as you can tell by the change in background, I forgot to take pictures of the November spreads for some bizarre reason. So, ended up taking them on a different surface. The trackers themselves are pretty much the same. The only real difference on the habit tracker is I added my PT exercises as their own checkoff box, because I did just complete physical therapy for my knee, and I want to make sure I stay on track, keeping it strong and stable. And everything else is pretty much the same. PT/fitness tracker for October could be better, but not so bad. And then the one that we've got going for November, which at the end of the month I'm actually going to be starting a program for like physical therapy maintenance type thing, which is why it has that little thing off on the side, because what they call it is Fit for You. And hopefully I will have this mostly filled out so I can walk in saying, yes, I have kept up with everything you gave me before, and now let's see what to do next. And now for the moment you were probably actually interested in. My NaNoWriMo tracker is the same one I used last November. I actually pretty much used the same one for July. But I really like this sort of idea that you've got paving stones going around a garden of leaves. So then in the paving stones I can write in how many words I added that day and keep a running total, and then I color in one of the leaves for each 1,000 words. I may not be the most skilled artist when it comes to doodling leaves, but they'll do for their purpose. There are 60 leaves, which is the same thing I did last year, and there's room for more if I actually go beyond that, because the goal that I'm setting again is to do 2,000 words a day, 1,000 words before work and 1,000 words after. If I do that starting early on, then any time that gets lost around Thanksgiving shouldn't be too critical. and I might even end up blowing 50,000 words out of the water, which I did last year and I would like to do again. So really simple, basic approach, I think, but different than most of what I've seen online. So in case this is of any use to you, there you go for an idea. And then just my first weekly spread, I decided to use, from a completely different sticker set, some Halloween themed stickers, because of course it is the week that contains Halloween, and found this quote that I wanted something that was related kind of to Halloween but was also related to writing. So I found something that dealt with the scariness that sometimes comes up in writing. From Natalie Goldberg, author of Writing Down the Bones. Write what disturbs you, what you fear, what you have not been willing to speak about, be willing to be split open. And boy, is that a challenge. One that I hope to at least somewhat rise to during NaNoWriMo, but we shall see. I had actually left off some of the things I usually include in my weekly spreads, and then decided of all the months to leave out the daily gratitude piece. November really is not the month to do that. So I built that back in and put in my water bottle stickers to remind myself to stay hydrated. And that's it. So I hope you found that helpful. It is basically the same system that I've used since last November. I used it last November. I used variations on it for, well, I didn't use quite a variation on that for April because I had a completely different goal, but I used a similar approach for July's Camp NaNoWriMo. So if you've seen it before, sorry, pretty much the same thing again, but hope you found something useful in there somewhere. If you have some different approach to how you track your progress and stay motivated for NaNoWriMo, please let me know down below, whether it's digital or written or some other reward system. I am really curious to hear. So let me know. Until next time, have a great day. Bye.